Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our weekly podcast, Knowledge Empowers. As always, with you is me, Kat. 안녕하세요. Then we have Baruch.
Hello, hello, hello.
And we have Kolaj.
Dobré ráno. Good morning, everyone.
Where's the enthusiasm, Kolaj? Is it because you woke up at 4:30?
Yes, it's gone. Like 2 hours.
It was never there.
Like that, yeah.
At least not today.
So last time we recorded just me and Baruch, and we said it out loud that we feel with you. We are there with you. Maybe you felt us, we don't know. But this is how a fatherhood looks like when you have just a newborn baby.
Yeah, let's just be glad that he's here.
Let's celebrate. Woohoo!
Yay!
Yay.
Okay, guys, let's share our 3 fun facts. Kolaj, stage is yours.
So first would be a question to you. I found out this just recently. How would the old Romans mark the number 1000?
It's M, right?
But
Yeah.
he's saying first time.
Like, how would the
First.
old Romans mark 1000?
C is 100 and M is 1000.
That's,
Yeah, L is 50, but that's what we know now. But he's talking about the first time.
not just first time, like the old Romans, like when
Mhm.
the old Roman
okay.
Empire lived,
Ah.
they didn't use M. So the M was created in the Middle Ages.
Mm.
It wasn't used by Romans at all. Usually they used totally different symbols. And there are also cases where they use like 10 times 100, to mark it same.
Mhm.
Or they used something in brackets like X in brackets or some other letter. So M, as we know it for now, wasn't used by Romans at all.
So did the Romans come up with the M?
I don't recall exactly who came up with that. It's just that it was much later than
Mhm.
and it was used in
Interesting.
all those letters.
So we
title.
consider it such a old way of writing numbers, and it's not
Yep.
that old.
Yep, at least the M. The others are pretty old.
Okay.
Just the M. Because 1000 was too far ahead. Like they didn't even live the ages into 1000, so it wasn't necessary to use such a high number.
Mm.
At that
It
time.
just took several hundred years to get there.
Yep.
Number 2.
Number 2, do or do not.
There is no try.
There is no try. Who said that? Or no, Buffy said that actually.
Oh no! Don't break this for Star Wars fans.
Whoa, I'm losing you. What?
Yeah, Buffy said that.
But say that again. You
Do or do not. There is no try. Buffy said that. It was because
Buffy,
yeah,
the
Buffy.
Vampire Slayer.
No, Buffy was the original name of Yoda
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
in scripts, and then and it was rewritten afterwards. So when you next time watch the Star Wars, check out for Buffy. And somewhere else, I've read that he was supposed to be more closely related to Monkey. So now it makes
Oh.
sense why he was so much on Luke's, back.
But I like that me and Baruch immediately thought of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Well, it didn't fit the character, but
90 kids. 90. Number 3.
And the third one is just the recent, and I haven't read much about it, just the short title, that France is trying to ban or already banned short flights, those where you can travel in 2 hours of train, 3 hours of train travel. You should use different method than the flight. So you can use it for long distance traveling, but not short ones.
So if I'm in France and I want to get out of France by plane, I cannot.
You can. That's the but then, well, depends how far you want to go. If it's just the neighboring city to where you are, I think that the flight's not going to be available, or there might be some limitations to you. But the long distance flights, like if you want to go from France to Slovakia or from France to US, that's still possible. That's still valid distance travel. But the short ones, like traveling to the next village with a flight, or like going from Paris to, I don't know, to some neighboring big cities airport, you know.
I wanted to say, who even wants to fly through France? All my experiences are always lost luggage. Thank you very much. No, thank you. Or they go to strike. So you must be very lucky if you fly through France.
Maybe that's why I reduced the flights, you know, so they have lower number of these incidents.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Lower number of the flights, the better the statistics, maybe.
Well. Okay, let's watch for the future and see what they will come up with. Okie doke. So last time, me and Baruch, we started to share some insights into a project management, and we talked about business controls. And today I want to open up a topic called requirements, stakeholders, and another things. I couldn't come up with a proper name for that. So let's call them things. Let's start with all the words under which is maybe a document or whatever it can be, but is written down what the client wants. So I know two words.
Email.
That's not what I wanted to say. No. I really mean like, so I know two words: a requirement and a brief. College, you know other words?
Email. I'm gonna stick with that, you know, like that's I think that like a huge number or portion of actually requirements are coming in for email, like I want you to do this, and that's it. So yeah,
Email.
my client sent me a request for email. There is definitely request for change. There is agile methodology, and they define something like initiative, stories, and epics. So again, a different level of requirements or requirement level of how deep you want to go, tasks, subtasks. So those are requirements or can be translated as a requirement. Basically, that's like request for change, request for, you know, to do something, you know.
So we just share with you guys names like requirement, brief, epic, stories, other words, but all of them means the same thing. It's some sort of a document where a client, or let's call them clients, requires either a change on something or just require to be built something brand new. Brief is used among of marketing people. Requirement is used among of IT people, and the others are depends on the methodology. We will be talking about methodologies on different episode, but really depends on the methodology you use, the words you start using. But the faster you get familiar with those words, the faster you will be able to understand your own colleagues around you. And so the document, again, can be via email, whatever tools the client use, but it literally holds an information, what the person wants from you, also what type of outcome it should be, but the how it's going to be built is then up on you because you're the SME in that particular area.
Well, I think that there are two ways how you can get a requirement, not just from a stakeholder, not just from client, but it can come also from within the team.
So again, few words: stakeholder, client, SME, aka subject matter expert,
product owner, scrum master.
Here is a question: who is a stakeholder?
Someone who holds stakes.
That's cool.
Are we playing a poker?
No, I thought like steak is the one you eat. Medium rare stakeholder.
Medium rare. Well done, or well done stakeholder. So a stakeholder can be either a group or an individual who is impacted by or who could impact the project. And examples of that can be either someone from management, team members, sponsors, developers, application users.
What about
AKA?
family, you know?
Last time. So could we have a stakeholder that is, for example, a QA specialist? I mean,
Yeah, why not?
What does it mean, QA specialist?
it's quality assurance specialist, someone who will check if the work is done well by, for example, developers.
A tester.
Mhm.
Another word.
Mhm.
Okay, I will put there one more sentence, which probably will answer Baruch's question. Stakeholders are based on the influence versus support ratio. So depends where the quality assurance person is, can be a stakeholder.
Mhm.
Right? I'm going to give you one story I've used a stakeholder for, where I really needed a huge influence. So long time ago.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Exactly. I had a developer who I probably was bored. I don't know. His wife was pregnant. And he actually, during his vacation, built up a prototype of a new tool. And that tool really hold all the latest, let's say, technology inside, like everything. And I was stunned. I was like, oh my God, wow, this is exactly what we want. But I knew that be capable to start building this new tool based on this prototype, I need lots of stakeholders on my side. And so I went and chose two ladies who were the most influential stakeholders, because they were, of course, subject matter experts in their area. They had years of experience and everyone trusted them like really high. And I asked my developer, like, I will support you, but this is a long run. It will not happen from day to day. We really talk about 6 months to 1 year. Are you willing to come on every call with me until we speak to all the influencers? And he was like, let's do that. And so I asked these two ladies to be open-minded. I will let my developer show them the prototype, and then I will tell them what I want from them. So he did. And before I even started to ask my request from the ladies, I want this as of yesterday. So I really got their buy-in right away, because they saw like how much it will help them in the future and everything. But it's very important when you want to have a successful project, you get the most influential stakeholders who will also understand how big impact your project might have, because then they will be the one really influencing the others to get their buy-in as well. So you could get the approvals, get the budget for it, and then you can start work on that. And so thanks to these two ladies, we were able to do that. And then within 6 months, the team started working on it. And then in 1 year, we had brand new tool for using it. So that's how it started. That's how important the stakeholders are.
And vice versa. If you have a stakeholder on an existing tool, they can actually provide you very good input on what needs to be updated or changed if they are truly the subject matter expert. So without them, the tool will look as much as the stakeholders will influence it, right? So sometimes they represent a lot of groups. Such a stakeholder could be, I don't know, representing a whole department or a certain type of job roles.
And it's good because sometimes the stakeholder might not be the influencer, but might be the opponent. And that's good as well, because especially if you have, let's say, a brand new people on the team, and they might not know exactly that, let's say, if you would make this upgrade, it may influence other aspects in the tool, depends on what it is connected to, like API, through API, etc. And it's good to have those opponents who will say out loud, but if we do that change, it will impact this and that. Did you come up with a solution how to prevent that, etc., etc.? So it's very important to have also seniors and people who have that knowledge. Don't get rid of people with knowledge, please. That's the silliest thing you can do in your company. I have another question to you guys. What is a project charter?
Is it like a project plan, like what needs to be done, what's the goal, etc.?
Correct. So, guys, just so you see, we are all three of us are experienced project managers, but there are, of course, some terms that I am now throwing them out loud, that we do know what it is. It's just that we are not used to use that term, right? The term project charter. So exactly as Baruch said, it's a document that formalizes the request from a sponsor for responding to a business need. It's a clear statement of a project intent, scope, and directions, and it provides information about all the roles and responsibilities. And it serves as a reference of authority for the future of the project. AKA, if an audit would come, you need to have somewhere documented based on what you are performing your job or working, what you are supposed to working on. My manager said I'm supposed to do this. Okay. So it's good that if we have I don't want to say everything documented, but it's worth also every time you get a new SME or a new developer or a new stakeholder, that you can show them the documents so they also understand their responsibilities and their accountabilities as well for in that specific project. So that's why it's important to have it documented. We have, even in my team right now, we do have everything documented, and it's actually really good because every time I train any new hire that someone joins our team, it's just perfect that when I take them through it, I just then tell them, please also go through this document by yourself, because whenever you cannot reach out any one of us, that document holds that initial information that whenever you feel lost, you look at it, it has exact instruction and you just go and perform. So it's really, of course, like I saw the hesitancy in Collage, so it means not always all the documentation is written well. That the hardest task is to make that documentation functional so people are capable to work based on it. Don't make it like a paragraph of a law that you will need another set of team members who would then explain you what it means, right? It needs to be clear instructions. And usually it's a living document as well, because project evolves, documentation needs to evolve as well. Here is another term. What is a project definition?
Definition of a project.
Correct. Is a document that determines the boundaries of the project. It's like the baseline. Identifies critical issues before trying to solve the customer's problems. Formalize the understanding of the project charter by the delivery organization, and include, exclude, and assumed requirements.
So this is something you would put in a project charter, right?
Correct. Or you could even put it into an SLA or DOU. What is SLA and what is DOU?
Exactly. What it is? What is it? Was it your question towards us?
Yeah, that was a question towards you guys. What is SLA?
DOU
Which
is
one are you
document of understanding, document of understanding, and SLA is a general term for
Service level agreement.
yes, exactly. So
Maja.
Teamwork. Yay.
Teamwork. So maybe our listeners are like confused, like what do you mean of this document? So of course, like you as an employee sign a contract with the company, but also inside of the companies are sort of contracts between the organizations, between the departments. IT departments have this SLA, service level agreement, that, for example, if your laptop breaks, they need to give you a spare machine so you are capable to continue and perform. And within 5 working days, they need to give you either a repaired machine, your previous one, or a brand new one, for example. It really depends on the department where you are. Either you have these DOUs or SLAs, and they can hold this different type of information. So lots of abbreviations and
lots of paper for you to do.
lots of paper. And I remember when I first time joined corporation, my husband started making fun of me that suddenly I talk like a CIA agent or KGB agent. It's like lots of FBI, CIA, KGB. Why are you saying all of these abbreviation? What does that mean? And then once he joined us for beer, and we were all talking like in these terms, and he was like, "I feel like an alien."
Yeah, that's what we are good at, TLAs. Three-letter
TLAs.
acronyms. Three-letter acronyms. So like we use that a lot. You will use that a lot in your job as well. As soon as you join, their abbreviations, acronyms are everywhere. So
yeah, and it's really funny that when you join the company, you feel so lost. You just keep looking at the people like, is this even English, or what language is that? And then within 3 months, you speak like them.
Exactly.
It's hilarious. I love it. With that, I'm gonna say, guys, 수고하셨습니다.
Bye-bye.
thank you. Bye.
This podcast represents our own opinions, experience, and our own ideas. We do not represent any official statement from our employers, and this is not their official channel representing the company.